is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing February's TBR to be rolled. So this is the TBR game that I came up with last year, and we've been playing it for 13 months, going on 14 months now, and I'm very excited to do this. We changed the rules last month for 2023, so I will leave January's video linked down below because I go over some extensive rules, but I did want to go over, you know, January's books before we get into the February rules, and I succeeded. I have officially, as of last night, finished or DNF'd all the books that I had on my January TBR. So let's just go over the stuff for January. The first one I have here was for the yellow card we pulled, which was to read a physical book, The Death of Honor by Lyra Thorson. I have finished this one. The second one, we rolled a blue, which ended up being a poll pick. Presley actually ended up picking the books for us, and you guys voted on Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. I did finish this one as well. Our third roll was a purple, which means a Stephen King book, and I picked Carrie. I did finish this one as well. Roll number 4 was a green, which ended up being a card saying an unhaul book, so a book that I thought I was going to unhaul. I picked Damage by Becca Vincenza. I will say I did DNF this one. And then finally we had an orange, which was a TBR bucket. We actually picked a few different papers from there, and I picked Dustin Grimm by Chuck Wendig. I did finish this one as well. So that means I finished all of my stuff. I don't get any bonus in this video, but what it does mean is I get to haul an extra book for what I have been doing. And what I have been doing is trying to read 2 books to haul 1 book. And I will just let you guys know because I get a penalty if I haul too many books. I haven't filmed my haul yet, but I have physically not purchased any books for myself this month, so I will be for sure under that limit. I have read 2 books for every book that I will end up having to haul, so good things there. I don't have to add any rolls, and I get to purchase 1 extra book, which is always great. Now, let's go into some of the February plans before we get into the actual rolls, because I have some books I need to try and fit on this TBR, if at all possible. The first thing that I needed to talk about is our Patreon club pick. So I started a Patreon this year. We've only been doing it for about a month now. We have a Discord channel where I have been posting like sneak peeks into things that I want to film, like what my plans are for February. I also have some chat channels, so they were able to see us go to the snow and like hear about that before you guys did. But also, we picked a book to read in February together, and then we will have a discussion about it, potentially a live stream once we figure out time zones and everything like that. But we have officially picked our first book for the book club, and it is going to be Rosaline Palmer Takes the Cake by Alexis Hall. This is going to be a romance, which I do feel like is perfect for February, so I'm very happy with what they picked out for us to read. This is also an author that I read a book from before. I read Boyfriend Material in 2020, I want to say. Absolutely loved that one, and so I have a couple other books by Alexis Hall that I desperately need to read, and this is one that I've had for a little while. This was actually a gift from Michelle, from Michelle's library. I'll leave her channel linked down below as well, and I've been meaning to read it, and I'm so glad we're going to. This is going to be, like I said, a romance. It is a bisexual romance because our main character is bisexual. They are also a single mother, I'm pretty sure, and we're gonna have some sort of like baking or baking competition sort of thing, so I'm very excited that way. So yeah, I need to somehow fit this on my TBR. And then speaking of Michelle from Michelle's library, we also have Rom-Comathon coming up in February. They're having a week-long version coming up. I believe it's February 13th through the 18th. It's that week. I could be off on the dates. I'll put it right here. And I want to participate. They do have challenges, so they have 1 board of 7 book challenges and 1 board of 7 not book challenges. Those ones are more like bake something, watch a rom-com, that kind of stuff. So I'm very excited. I'm planning on vlogging as well. I have no idea if I can actually read 7 books in 7 days, but I have a tentative TBR for that one. Like, I found books that fit almost every single prompt, and then some of them could double up actually, so I don't have to read 7 books in 7 days, but I think I'm gonna try. So I have a couple different books like these, Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood, or The Rehearsals by Annette Christie, things that I want to try and fit on this TBR as well because I'm planning on reading them that week in February. So I think that's all the housekeeping. Just, you know I'm trying to fit a lot of romance into this TBR. Also, keep in mind, because of the new rules, if I roll the same color 3 times, I have to add a roll. We're gonna start at 5 again. We'll see how it goes. Presley's very excited to help us out, so let's jump into those rolls. Are we gonna roll the ball?
Yeah.
Okay, can I do it or are you gonna do it? Who's gonna throw it?
Mommy.
Mommy? Okay. Okay, roll number
1.
1. Okay, here we go. Ready? What color is it?
Yellow.
No, on top.
Blue.
Blue. Okay, so for roll number 1, we got a blue, which means we're gonna do a poll pick, but we also need to pick a card to see how we're gonna pick the books.
Mommy.
Okay, here's Presley. Here's our blue cards.
Here's our blue cards.
Which one are you gonna pick? That one? And then can you show it to the camera? Oh. Yellow!
Yellow!
Okay. So now that means we're gonna do a yellow card, and then I will end up picking between 2 to 4 books that fit the yellow cards for you guys to vote on. So, okay, Presley's back. We got our yellow cards. Which one are you gonna pick? Can you get it? That's the one? Okay, show the camera. Ooh. Okay, mass markets. So I'm gonna pick, like I said, 2 to 4, turn it around the right way, mass market books, and that's what you will vote on.
Books.
Yeah. Okay guys, so I chose 3 mass market books. They are all technically romance in some way or another. So the first one I have here is attached to my hair, Dark Angel by L.J. Smith. This is the 4th book in the Night World series. These are YA paranormal romances from like the 1990s, which is what these covers are. I bought them because of the covers, but I've really been enjoying my time with the series. They're very quick to read, like there's 200 something pages, but because of the font format and everything, I usually finish these in like a sitting. I don't know much about this actual plot though. I also have Heat of the Moment by Laurie Handelin. This is the 2nd in a trilogy of, again, paranormal romance sort of stuff with witches. These are about 3 different sisters who I think were not exactly abandoned, but separated at birth because of witchiness, and they don't know that they're sisters, but each book follows them, and there should be romance in it, but also there's people out to get them. Again, really liked the first one and would like to continue with the series. And then I have Never Let Me Fall by Abby Rhodes. This is not an author I've ever read from before. This is technically middle of the series somewhere, but each book is a standalone. So this one, it says Thomas Brown can't see color, but he can see people's true souls. His abilities allow him to work with criminal investigators and deliver justice to families of the wronged, and he started to accept that his life will forever be in black and white. Then he encounters Helena Grace, and everything changes. She brings vibrant color to his world, and he brings acceptance and belief to hers. But Helena's past is quickly catching up with her, and Thomas is in the crosshairs. This I did find in the romance section, like I know for sure. Again, it feels sort of urban fantasy romance, paranormal, I don't know, magic-y in some way. So yeah, this is your 3rd and final choice. I will have the poll up on Instagram and Twitter the day that this goes live. However, if you missed that or if you would prefer, you can always leave a comment down below with your vote. I count those in as well. Roll number 2.
Yeah.
What do we get?
Yellow.
Yellow. Roll number 2 was yellow, so we're actually gonna pick another yellow card. Yellow cards and a Presley. So which one are you gonna pick? I think it's just one. Show the camera. Middle grade.
Middle grade.
Yeah. Okay, so I debated a little bit back and forth because obviously I don't have any middle grade that are like romance books, because like that doesn't happen. So I just wanted to pick something that I wanted to read. But I couldn't decide if I wanted a short, easy book to read, because of my big plans for the month, or if I wanted to go with something that I know I'm absolutely gonna love, but is a huge chunker. I went with the second option. I picked Keeper of Velocity's Lodestar by Shannon Messenger. This is the 5th book in this series. I have absolutely been loving this series. It is a huge chunker, although quite quick to read because it is middle grade. And this was a gift from Lindsay, so thank you so much, Lindsay. I am so excited to read this, although it is also a little intimidating because I know I have a lot of things I want to read this month. So yeah, this is a fantasy series that follows our main character of Sophie, who in the first book finds out that she's not a human, she's an elf, and things go from there. There's lots of crazy stuff happening, lots of like conspiracy stuff and adventure stuff, and I need to know what's going to happen. So yeah, this is the one that I picked. Roll number 3. Oh, what color?
Yellow.
Yellow. Again. Okay, roll number 3 was also yellow, so we're picking our 3rd yellow card, although hopefully this is only 2 yellow rolls, and so we're not adding a roll. Yellow cards and a Presley. Which one are you gonna pick? The one on top again, okay. Show the camera. What do we got? A comic or graphic novel.
A comic over a number.
Yeah. Okay, the good thing about comic or graphic novel is that they are very short and easy to read, so like I'm very excited about it. I'm picking one that I should have read last year. Saga Volume 10 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. This is one that I absolutely love. Like, it's Volume 10 of the series. They came back from like a 3-year hiatus at the very beginning of 2022, and so I actually read the first issue that's in this collection in January of 2022. But then I was waiting for this one, and it came out, and I pre-ordered it, I think, but then I never read it. So I need to read this one. This is a very well-known series on BookTube, I believe. I feel like a lot of people talked about Saga and read the first volumes as they were coming out and then reread them for this one. And yeah, it's a sci-fi fantasy series. It's a heart-wrenching series, and I need more. Roll number 4. Ready? Here, I'm gonna come over here this time and try and go this way. We'll see if that makes it something different. Ready? Woo! Oh! What color? Orange. Can you guys see? It's orange. Okay, roll number 4 was an orange, which means we are doing my TBR box, but we also have cards this year to see how many papers I can pull out and then end up picking from those. So, okay, Presley's back once again. This time we have orange cards. So, which orange card are you going to pick? That one there. Okay, show the camera. What does it say?
2.
2. Okay, so we have the TBR box. I'm going to pick out 2 papers. I'm going to do it instead of Presley because they are very small. But then I get to pick which book I'm going to read out of those 2. So, there's a lot in here. They're all sort of clumped together, so I'm just sort of like shuffling first. Okay, 2 papers. First one we have here is Revival. Can we see? Revival, volumes 4 through 6. This is a graphic novel comic series that I have on ebook. If I do decide to pick this one, I'll actually start at the beginning. So I'll probably do like volumes 1 through 3. And then the second one is Spell Slinger. This is going to be by Sebastian de Castell. So this is a book that I picked up in the UK years ago. It's the pretty UK cover with the red sprayed edges. It is going to be some sort of fantasy, western sort of thing. The thing is, I feel like I might want to lean into the ebooks and just start at the beginning of Revival, because I can read ebooks a lot easier than physical books with my kids, and I've already picked physical books because I had to pick a mass market and a middle grade, and I don't really have many middle grade ebooks. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna put Spellslinger back in the box. I'm actually gonna put Revival volume 4 through 6 back in the box as well. And my goal is to then read Revival volumes 1 through 3. unless I decide that I don't like the series and I DNF it. But like I said before in the first video for this year, DNFs do count for these reading goals. And then roll number 5. Ready? I'm gonna come over here again. You wanna come over here?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Ready? Roll number 5. Oh! What is that one? He accidentally hit it, but we're orange again. Again. Can you guys see? Orange, orange, orange. And then finally, we had another orange. So we did not have any 3 rolls, which is great. But it means we need to pick an orange card to see again how many pieces of paper we're gonna pull out of the TBR box. Okay, Presley, orange cards. Which one do you wanna pick? Got it? Ooh. It's okay. Show the camera. And what number is it?
2.
2 again. Okay, so we again got 2 pieces of paper. That's okay. Let's see what we're picking this time. So, number 1. After Darkness Falls. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to look this one up to make sure, but it should be an ebook that I have. Okay, yes, this is an ebook that I have by May Sage. This should be romance, which actually could be very good for the rom-comathon potentially. This is actually paranormal, vampire-y sort of thing. I'm curious. After Darkness Falls is a series of standalone paranormal romance novels. So it's a series, but everything's standalone as well. This is the first book in it. So, we'll see. I do really love the cover. And then for paper number 2.
Paper number?
Oh! Okay. The Trouble with Friends. The reason I had that reaction is actually this is on my TBR, my tentative TBR, for Rom-Comathon. So, I will 100% be picking this one. This is a book that I picked up recently. I think it was from a Kindle sale, Kindle deal thing about romance novels, like free romances, in December. So this one is by Cheryl Phipps. I believe they are from Australia or something like that, so I think that's where it's going to be set. And the reason I have this one picked for the Rom-Comathon is that one of the prompts is friends to lovers. And literally, this is about what do you do about having feelings for your friends. And so I'm so into this one. I also really enjoy this cover as well. It's only 200 and something pages, so I'm hoping this would be a very easy one to read if I'm trying to do 7 books in 7 days for that readathon. We shall see, but yeah, 100% picking that one. Well, the rolls did not work out in my favor for getting the books that I showed you at the beginning of this video in, because of the fact that we had mass market, which none of them were, middle grade, which none of them were, comic, which none of them were, and then the TBR bucket stuff. Like I did say, Trouble with Friends is actually on my TBR for Rom-Comathon, so I am very, very happy about that. But that also means these 3 books are something that I really do need to sort of read in the month of February as well, so this will also be added to my stack. And then I didn't really mention it too much here, except for letting you guys know that in January I did roll a purple and I had to read a Stephen King. It's because I'm doing a Stephen King project for this year, and I didn't get any Stephen King books in February either. The thing about that is I'm really only reading 1, potentially 2 in February, and the one that I'm reading is The Stand. This chunker. So this did not get on the TBR as well. So it is something I need to read. So we have The Stand, the other 3 books that I need to read, Saga, Keeper of the Lost Cities. I'm a little bit apprehensive about why I added this one now, but I had already picked it. The Trouble with Friends, which is great, and then one of the books you guys are going to vote on. So February, even though we only have 28 days, is going to be a very packed month. Again, one thing I will say is I do reserve the right to change out any of the books on this TBR as needed. So if I do realize that, hey, Keeper of the Lost Cities is just a little bit too crazy and ridiculous to try in this month, As long as I still fit a middle grade into that spot, I complete the month. So it is a thick chunker, but it's usually quick to read, but I reserve the right to change it if needed. So I don't know anybody else necessarily who's trying to read more books in February than they probably will at any other time this year. But that's what I'm doing. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos coming out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I will see you then. Bye!